Karoline Leavitt is fast becoming the mainstream media's biggest headache. She may be new to the podium, but she's already a dominant force as Trump's press secretary, delivering bold, unfiltered takedowns the media clearly didn't see coming. Armed with facts, poise, and a calm, no-nonsense tone, she slices through the press's spin with surgical precision. Reporters are left stammering. Today we're diving into her most savage moments, exchanges so devastating they left the press stunned. You're gonna want to see this one. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what they don't want you to see.
It's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up Truth Seek, I would like to point out, while I vowed to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this.
Just 10 minutes into her first White House briefing, Karoline Leavitt made one thing crystal clear. She didn't come to play. At only 27, she's the youngest press secretary to serve under Trump. Handpicked for her standout work during his third campaign, her credentials speak volumes. Degrees in communications and political science from St. Anselm College in New Hampshire. Followed by a tough Fasnail stint with Kayla McEnany, helping prep for the most combative briefings of the era. Oh, and she ran for Congress in 2022. Defeating a Reno to win the GOP nod before falling to a Democrat incumbent. Still, that run proved one thing: Karoline's not here to blend in. She's here to dominate.
As we're dealing with anti-DEI, anti-woke efforts, we understand this administration is thinking about celebrating Black History Month. Have you got any word on that? Anything that you can offer to us?
As far as I know, this White House certainly still intends to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate American history and the contributions that all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, have made to our great country, and America is.
In just her first 2 briefings, reporters hammered Karoline with non-stop questions about DEIs, if that's the only issue facing the country. Her answer: calm, clear, and devastating. It echoed Morgan Freeman's famous rebuke: Black History Month is an insult. Freeman reminded us that Black history is American history, a truth that doesn't need token time slots. Karoline channeled that same mindset. She didn't bow to the narrative, she challenged it. The more reporters tried to trap her with gotcha games, the more she stood tall, proving she's not just prepared, she's built for this.
The president has made it very clear that this is a common sense solution to solving some of the problems that we have seen at the Federal Aviation Administration, and also when it comes to many of the federal agencies across our government. People should not be hired based on their disabilities, based on their skin color, their gender, their race. None of that matters. What matters to this president and this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government, especially when it comes to public safety.
I'm not here to launch into conspiracy theories like Philip DeFranco might, but what Karoline said about the airplane controversy was pure logic. Sadly, logic is kryptonite to woke media. Instead of focusing on qualifications and merit, they stay locked in victimhood mode. Karoline flipped the script. Disability doesn't equal inability. Just look at Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest minds in science because of his brilliance, not in spite of his condition. The press kept pushing, hoping to twist her words. She finally shut it down with one of the most unapologetically real answers we've seen in that room in years.
That's unacceptable, and I think just to put a fine point on this is the 3rd or 4th question I've answered on this subject. When you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
And then came the wildest twist. Joy Behar decided to weigh in, claiming Karoline got the job because she's a 10 in Trump's eyes. Let's be honest, that wasn't commentary, it was jealousy. Call it what you want, but Joy's not fit to hold Karoline's cue cards. Sharp, eloquent, and yes, stoning Karoline walks circles around her critics. Joy can barely string a sentence together without tripping over her own double standards. And Karoline's performance on Good Morning America. She dismantled a loaded question in seconds flat. Game over.
Look, we want people to return to work. We have beautiful federal office buildings here in Washington, D.C. that American taxpayers are paying for. They should be used. That's what the American people deserve.
But is there any concern that we risk losing people with years of experience like doctors and let's say scientists?
Well, most doctors who work in actual hospitals and medical institutions have to show up to the office. We know that employees are more productive and more efficient when they are working in an in-office environment, and that's what this administration expects, and I think that's what American taxpayers expect. Don't forget, it's the American people who are funding this government, and they deserve people who are actually showing up to work on their behalf.
Every clip of Karoline feels like a truth grenade going off one after the next. But it's not just the press sweating. Her impact is bigger than the briefing room. At the end of her first appearance, she didn't miss the chance to land a few direct shots at Joe Biden. The delivery, flawless. The energy, off the charts. It wasn't just a mic drop. It was a warning shot to the entire establishment. The game has changed.
It is a good question, April. So look, the president, as you know, is incredibly accessible. First day here, he wanted all of you in the Oval Office. You got a 60-minute press conference with the leader of the free world while he was simultaneously signing executive orders. I may add, that's pretty impressive. I don't think the previous office holder would be able to pull such a thing off. So look, the president is the best spokesperson that this White House has, and I can assure you that you will be hearing from both him and me as much as possible.
No kidding, shots fired. And even though it's only been days since Trump stepped back into office, it already feels like the volume's cranked to 11. The pace is relentless. Craig Shirley, a seasoned GOP strategist, said it best: politics, in motion, and Donald Trump is motion. It's non-stop. Karoline's right there in the eye of the storm, steady, sharp, and absolutely on fire. So now I want to hear from you. Drop your reactions, thoughts, and takes in the comments. And if you know someone who's sick of media spin and ready for real talk, send them this video. Let's grow a community that values clarity, not chaos. Thanks for watching, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.